When people talk behind your back, do this. Have you ever walked into a classroom and felt the hush, the subtle shift in the air, as you realize people were whispering about you just moments before? Perhaps you caught a glance between friends that seemed to be about you, or you saw a hurtful comment about you on social media. When people talk behind your back, it can sting. It's natural to feel hurt, angry, or even anxious about what others are saying. But what if I told you there's a way to not only withstand the gossip, but emerge stronger and calmer than ever? Today, we're going to talk about exactly that: how to handle whispers and rumors through the lens of stoic philosophy, so that when people talk behind your back, you know exactly what to do. Stoicism is an ancient philosophy, but its wisdom is timeless, especially when it comes to dealing with negativity and drama. Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor and Stoic philosopher, faced criticism, betrayal, and gossip on a scale most of us will never know. Imagine ruling an empire and knowing people still complained about you in the market. Yet, he managed to keep his cool and maintain his principles. He left behind a personal journal called Meditations, filled with advice on how to remain steady in the face of life's challenges, including the challenge of others' opinions. So, if you're a student dealing with school drama, social media gossip, or peer pressure, listen up. Let's borrow some of that Stoic wisdom. By the end of this speech, you'll have a toolkit of practical steps and mental reframes to rise above the chatter. When people talk behind your back, here's what a Stoic would do. Focus on what you can control. The first Stoic lesson is simple but powerful. Focus on what you can control and let go of what you can't. Right now, can you control what others are saying about you behind your back? No. You can't reach into their minds and switch off the gossip, but you can control your own reaction, your own mindset, and your next steps. The Stoic philosophers taught that while we don't control external events, we do control our internal response. As Marcus Aurelius put it, choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been. In other words, if someone insults you or spreads a rumor, it is only truly harmful if you accept it as harm. A rude comment or a lie does not hurt you physically. It's our interpretation of it, our decision to feel offended or devastated, that causes the pain. If you choose not to let it get to you, then, in a real sense, it hasn't truly hurt you. Imagine this scenario. You find out that a classmate said you're not that smart behind your back. Naturally, you might feel upset or angry, but now you pause and remind yourself of the Stoic perspective. You ask, is this within my control? You can't unsay their words, and you can't control their opinion. What is within your control is whether you'll let this comment define you or derail your day. You know your own abilities and efforts better than anyone. Maybe you think, I studied hard and improved my grade from a C to a B on that last test. One comment doesn't change that. By choosing not to internalize the insult, you rob it of its power. You stay focused on what you know is true about yourself. Marcus Aurelius believed that things outside our control, like the opinions of others, should not disturb our peace. It is in our power to have no opinion about a thing, and not to be disturbed in our soul, he wrote. For things themselves have no natural power to form our judgments. The gossip itself can't force you to feel bad. It's your mind that decides how to feel. This is liberating. It means that with practice, you can build an inner fortress that gossip cannot penetrate. Don't give importance to gossip. Indifference to others' opinions. The second key lesson is not to place too much value on the opinions of others. We often give gossip more importance than it deserves. Marcus Aurelius noticed this tendency in himself and others almost 2,000 years ago. He wrote, "It never ceases to amaze me. We all love ourselves more than other people, but care more about their opinion than our own." Think about that. We live with ourselves 24/7. We know our own dreams and values, and yet a snide remark from someone else can sometimes matter more to us than our own self-belief. Isn't that ironic? Why do we let other people's shallow opinions weigh so heavily on us? Marcus Aurelius had a way of putting things in perspective. He compared the clapping of an audience to nothing more than the mere clacking of their tongues, just noise. Whether people are praising you or bad-mouthing you, in the end it's only noise, a passing sound in the wind. It doesn't change who you are. You are not suddenly less talented, less kind, or less worthy because someone decided to gossip about you. Their words are a reflection of them, not you. Let's bring this into a modern. Say there's a rumor going around school that exaggerates something embarrassing about you. Maybe someone is gossiping that you tried to ask someone to prom and got rejected, and now they're calling you desperate or awkward behind your back. That hurts, no doubt. But remember, you know the real story, and you know your intentions and feelings were genuine, not something to be ashamed of. The stoic approach would be to remind yourself, those opinions do not define me, they are just noise. What matters is my opinion of myself and the facts of what I did. Marcus Aurelius admonished himself not to entrust your own happiness to the souls of others. If you base your self-worth on what they think, you're handing over control of your happiness to gossipers and bystanders. Instead, entrust your happiness to yourself. Focus on living up to your own standards. Ask yourself, am I doing the right thing? Am I being true to my values? If the answer is yes, then it shouldn't matter if others misunderstand or misrepresent you. As another Stoic philosopher would say, if you've done nothing wrong, let no one's opinion disturb you. And if you have made a mistake, then correct it. Either way, gossip has no rightful claim on your peace of mind. Here's a mental reframe. Treat gossip like background noise, like a distant radio playing some silly tune. It might buzz in the background, but you don't have to tune in. You can choose to shrug and say, people will have their opinions. I will keep living my life. This isn't easy at first, but it gets easier with practice, and it's empowering. When you stop giving gossip undue importance, it fades into the background where it belongs. Respond with character, not revenge. Being indifferent to gossip doesn't mean you become cold or indifferent to people. It means you remain balanced. The third Stoic principle is about how you act despite the gossip. Always respond according to your own character and values, never out of vengeance or blind emotion. In plain terms, don't sink to their level. If someone talks badly about you, the instinct might be to talk badly about them, to get even. But Marcus Aurelius offers a wiser approach. The best way of avenging yourself is not to become like the wrongdoer. In modern words, the best revenge is to be nothing like the people who try to hurt you. If they lie about you, don't start lying about them. If they exclude or mock you, don't scheme to do the same in return. Keep your integrity. Nothing bothers gossipers more than seeing that their chatter didn't drag you down. For example, suppose a friend betrayed your trust and gossiped about a secret you shared. You're hurt, and you might feel like lashing out or spreading something about them in retaliation. But pause and consider. If you do that, you're essentially confirming their behavior as the standard. You'd be saying that when someone does wrong to me, I do the same to them. Instead, you could calmly let that person know you're aware of what they did and that you're disappointed. Then, take a step back from the friendship if needed. Either way, you hold your head high by not engaging in a smear campaign. You demonstrate that you will not be defined by someone else's pettiness. Marcus Aurelius also advised showing understanding, or at least patience, toward those who do wrong. He observed that people who hurt others often do so out of ignorance or personal issues, and he famously reminded himself each morning, "You shouldn't be surprised that a fig tree produces figs, nor the world what it produces." In other words, just as it's in a fig tree's nature to grow figs, it's in some people's nature to gossip, to be selfish, or to cause trouble. This isn't saying gossip is okay, but it means we shouldn't be shocked when it happens. When you expect that sometimes people will disappoint or act mean, it tends to sting less. You can almost nod and think, all right, this is one of those difficult people Marcus warned me about. Instead of raging, you keep your composure. Stoics believed in responding to unkindness with integrity and self-control. If you can manage it, respond to gossip with success and good behavior. Focus on being the best version of yourself despite what is said. Over time, the truth of your character will speak louder than any rumor. If someone says behind your back that you're arrogant, but you consistently act humble and helpful, people will eventually see the gossip for what it is, a lie. As the saying goes, living well is the best revenge. Prove the gossip wrong not by arguing, but by living in a way that contradicts it. Stoic strategies for handling gossip and betrayal. Let's break down a few practical steps and mental reframes you can use whenever you suspect people are talking behind your back, or when you feel betrayed by someone's words. 1. Pause and take a deep breath. When you first hear gossip about yourself, you might feel a rush of anger or anxiety. Before reacting, pause. Take a deep breath. Remind yourself that the gossip itself can't hurt you. It's your choice of response that matters. This short pause can keep you from doing something impulsive, like firing off an angry text or yelling in public, that you might regret later. 2. Use the stoic filter. Ask, is this under my control? If the answer is no, and someone else's words are never under your direct control, acknowledge that fact and try to let it go. Save your energy for things you can control, like setting the record straight calmly if necessary, or simply moving on with your day. As a stoic might remind you, worrying endlessly about something you can't change is a sure way to make yourself miserable for no good reason. 3. Reframe the situation. Instead of thinking, everyone is against me, or this is so unfair, try a stoic reframe. For example, this is a chance to practice patience and resilience. Remind yourself that gossip is temporary, but your character is lasting. Often, rumors blow over in a week or two, but how you handle yourself will stick in people's minds much longer. By seeing the challenge as an opportunity to practice strength, you shift from a victim mindset to a growth mindset. 4. Don't internalize it. It's not truly about you. Tell yourself that gossip says more about the gossipers than about you. Happy, confident people usually don't feel the need to tear others down. People gossip often out of jealousy, insecurity, or boredom. If you're being talked about, it might even be because you stand out in some way. As the quip goes, people don't talk behind your back unless you're ahead of them. So, wear their gossip as unintended flattery. Mentally shrug it off by thinking, their opinion is their problem, not mine. 5. If there's a kernel of truth, use it. Sometimes gossip can carry a hint of legitimate criticism. Maybe people say you've been a little bossy in group projects, or you hear that she never listens to anyone's ideas. If you reflect and realize, I actually have been dismissive at times, take it as constructive feedback. The stoic approach is not to get defensive, but to improve yourself. If the gossip highlights a real flaw, fix it. If it's false, forget it. In short, if it's true, correct it. If it's false, ignore it. No need to take falsehoods to heart, and no need to be too proud to address genuine mistakes. 6. Seek support from true friends. Stoicism encourages self-reliance, but that doesn't mean you have to suffer in silence. It's okay to confide in a close friend, family member, or mentor about how you feel. They can remind you of who you really are. Often, a good friend will say, I know you, and that rumor is completely untrue. Don't even sweat it. Such reassurance can bolster your resilience. Just be careful not to turn this into a session of counter-gossip. You're looking for perspective and support, not revenge. 7. Demonstrate your values. Continue to act with honesty, kindness, and courage, especially when it's hardest. If people gossip that you're something you're not, the best remedy is to keep being your true self. Over time, lies fall apart, but your genuine character, consistently shown, will endure. Marcus Aurelius put it best, waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Let your life be your counter-argument to any rumors. 8. Let it go and move on. Finally, make a conscious decision to let the gossip go. Imagine setting down a heavy backpack full of other people's opinions and walking away without it. Every time the thought of the rumor pops up and pokes at you, remind yourself, I'm not giving this power over me. Then direct your attention to something positive and productive. Your schoolwork, a hobby you love, music, exercise, anything that elevates you. By focusing on your own growth and goals, you leave little room in your mind for the pettiness of others. Each of these steps takes practice. You might not do them perfectly every time, and that's okay. The goal is progress, not perfection. With each instance of gossip or criticism you face and handle calmly, You'll get mentally stronger, like building a muscle. Over time, you might find that gossip which once ruined your whole day now barely bothers you for an hour, or doesn't bother you at all. That is the Stoic superpower at work. Conclusion. In the end, remember this. You are the author of your own character, not the gossipers. When people talk behind your back, it's tempting to look back and shout, or to chase down every rumor. But the Stoic way, the stronger, wiser way, is to keep your eyes forward on your own purpose. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire, and yet reminded himself that the gossip and even the praise of others was just noise, here today and gone tomorrow. What mattered was whether he lived with virtue and stayed true to himself. The same is true for you, right here in your school and your life. You might not control what others say about you, but you absolutely control who you are and how you behave. No rumor can change the truth. No gossip can stop you from being kind, from working hard, from being you. So the next time you find out someone is talking behind your back, take a deep breath and smile to yourself. Recall what you've learned today. You have the tools to handle it. Focus on what you can control, ignore the noise of opinions that don't matter, and respond with integrity rather than anger. As you do this, you'll not only rise above the gossip, you'll inspire others as well. Your classmates will see that nothing can knock you off course. They'll see that dignity and resilience speak louder than rumors. When people talk behind your back, do this. Stand tall, stay stoic, and keep moving forward. In a world full of chatter, choose to be the calm and confident one. Eventually, even the gossipers may come to respect you, even if grudgingly, because they'll see that nothing they say can diminish your spirit. And as you continue on your path, you'll discover what Marcus Aurelius discovered, that within you lies an inner strength and peace that no one's words can ever take away. Thank you.